Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about something very awesome that has been secretly changed in Grand Theft Auto Online regarding one of the brand new supercars that was added with the latest GTA Online update, the Banshee 900R. So you guys know the biggest gripe with the Banshee 900R is that its performance was terrible. I mean, it was downright awful. It just couldn't compete with the other supercars. And today, Rockstar has either hotfixed or updated a tunable, done something where they've actually changed the Banshee 900R, and it's now in a straight line the fastest car in the game. And I'm going to be running all sorts of tests today to kind of prove that that is the case. Okay, so I'll leave the race that I'm using in the description to test out all of these vehicles. It's essentially a 1 kilometer or 1,000 meter drag race that I was actually using on the PS4. I think it was 0.62 miles. That's what I was using for all the races. I was using the exact same settings, the exact same everything on each car. All of them were fully upgraded to the max in terms of brakes, engine, transmission, turbo. Everything remained similar. Again, there might be some tiny discrepancies in the way that each car was individually raced, but this test should give you an overall feel for the new performance standard of the Banshee and the other supercars. All right, so let's get this drag race started. I did 6 vehicles. I tested the Banshee, the T20, Zentorno, Adder, Osiris, and Sultan Rs just for fun. Now, I didn't think there was any change to the Sultan Rs, but I wanted to give it a shot just in case. So let's start off with the Banshee. I raced the Banshee 4 times on this drag strip, and my best run was 21.222 seconds. So that was pretty fast, and as you'll see a little bit later in the video, that actually turns out to be the fastest time. Now, the reason I raced these 2 or 3 times each is to eliminate any odd variables or discrepancies, like let's say I messed up the start, or let's say for whatever reason I had an oddly fast run on another car. That was to eliminate any mis-skewed test results. So I raced the Banshee a few times, got the fastest result of 21.222 seconds, followed up by the second fastest result of 21.489 seconds. So overall, something has definitely changed with this car, as you'll definitely see when we compare it to a few more coming up in a little bit. Okay, so up next, we've got the T20, the Progen T20, the reigning champ of this category in terms of overall top speed. The fastest T20 time I got was 21.690 seconds, which is about 0.4 seconds slower than our fastest time on the Banshee. Overall, once again, the T20 was very, very quick, but still lagged behind the Banshee of an overall time of about 0.4, and I also was able to get another run of about 21.890 seconds, so about 0.2 seconds discrepancy there. The T20 is still very fast, but obviously does now lag behind the Banshee in terms of speed. Up next was an old classic, the Zentorno. That's right, you know we had to test the Zentorno here. The fastest time I was able to get with the Zentorno was 21.857 seconds. Now, I actually raced the Zentorno 3 times because I feel like on one of my other runs, I didn't feel like I got a good enough jump or I messed something up. And I got a time of 21.923 and 21.958. So those second and third runs were very, very close, with, of course, the fastest one being 21.857 seconds, making it still slower than the best T20 time I had, and also about 0.6 seconds slower than the new Banshee time. So this is pretty incredible. The new Banshee 900R has thus beaten the T20 and the Zentorno. So that is pretty impressive. After that, I tested the Adder, and the fastest time I got for the Adder was 22.091 seconds. We all know that the Adder doesn't necessarily have one of the fastest top speeds in the game, so I wasn't necessarily surprised when I saw that the Banshee almost beat this speed by a full second. It was about 0.89 seconds that it was greater than. And then I ran another time with the Adder that was 22.123 seconds. So clearly that was the slowest car that we've tested so far out of the Banshee, the T20, the Zentorno, and now the Adder. The Adder, of course, ran the slowest time. I also tested the Osiris. The Pegasi Osiris came in a little bit faster than both the Adder and had a better run than the Zentorno at 21.790. Now again, there might be some discrepancy there based on how I personally drag raced in these couple of tests, but 21.790 was the fastest that I got, followed up by 21.991. which still puts us at about half a second slower than that of the Banshee 900R. So that's insane. That is an unbelievable, impressive resume from this new Banshee 900R, eclipsing the top speed of the T20, Zentorno, Adder, and Osiris, said to be the best 4 supercars in the game. So that is mind-blowing, considering just a few days ago, this car was considered one of the worst in the game. And I also wanted to test this against the Sultan Rs, the other new vehicle. And the Sultan, to no one's surprise, had the slowest time out of my run. It came in at its quickest time at 27.724 seconds, with a secondary test at 27.759 seconds. So clearly the slowest of the bunch, but that of course should come at no surprise, and about 1.5 seconds slower than the Banshee 900R. So let's talk about this. This is pretty impressive. One, on, I believe, Rockstar's end, they clearly either one, made a mistake in terms of the performance attributes they gave the new Banshee 900R. I guess I should say the old one that they implied to the new one. Or two, they really did listen to the community feedback of everyone on forums, YouTube videos, whether it be Twitter, social media. I really do think Rockstar saw the backlash of the very poor performance of the Banshee 900R. And instead of doing nothing and instead of just sitting there, they were actually, progressive, and they made a change, and it seems to be a really cool change. Now, I don't know if this is a change for the better. I don't know if you guys wanted the new Banshee 900R to be the fastest straight line car in the game. And I should also clarify that this speed test was just in a straight line drag race situation and scenario. So while it is technically the fastest car in the game in a drag race scenario in terms of eclipsing top speed, there are lots of other variables when it, of course, comes to racing, braking, obviously traction, the track itself, the driver itself. So there's going to be a bunch of subjective things when it comes to not only selecting the car that you think is best, but also in the way it ultimately performs on the track and in various races. So although it's great and now it's glamorous to say that this Banshee 900R is now the fastest car in the game, which is true, there are a ton of other variables that simply can't be tested, whether the fact that they're subjective or the fact that it changes on every track, that will ultimately determine the best car for you to use. However, this test is pretty significant, and like I said, the fact that Rockstar was willing to change the car itself in terms of performance, but also, how will this now impact the supercar class? Is the Banshee 900R now going to be looked at as like the supreme dog in that class? It'll be really interesting to hear from you guys in the comments section down below on what you think of this issue. Let me know what you think about the whole thing in the comments section down below. Is the Banshee 900R now going to be your go-to car, as it is the fastest car in the game? If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Grand Theft Auto 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.